everyone, welcome to an episode of RDU's Talk. I wonder if you have seen this news where an airport police auxiliary officer, he found an airport and he decided to keep it for himself, and instead in the lost and found section he replaced his own unbranded earbud with the airport, and he pleaded guilty to committing this offense. He is an Indian national. I'm not saying this because Singapore citizens will not commit such offences. Indeed, they do. But there is a huge cultural difference from people of Singapore, even if they may look alike, and people who come from other countries, whether they be from India or China or even Malaysia. And we see this news at a time when the highest paid ministers in the world, who are the ministers of Singapore, of course, have decided to expand the source countries from which these auxiliary police officers are recruited from. And mind you, they are not only recruiting auxiliary police officers from some of these different source countries, they are also recruiting firefighters and paramedics and so on. And I think this could be quite troubling or unsettling for some Singaporeans at least, because what kind of standards will they provide us? That's a very important question to ask. And I think it's also important to ask if civil defense officers and paramedics who are Singapore citizens, why are they not signing up to be civil defense officers, paramedics and firefighters and auxiliary police officers? Is wages a very big problem in some of these industries? In our walkabouts, we have spoken to some former police officers and former firefighters who have told us that they have left the industry because they feel that the wages or their salary was insufficient for the number of hours that they put into their work, the responsibility that they have to hold, and so on and so forth. So I'm wondering if we can recruit some of our own to be auxiliary police officers, to be firefighters and to be paramedics, if we would adjust their salaries upwards. Or in other words, are we underpaying our police officers, firefighters and paramedics? I think it's an important question to ask. Because when these auxiliary police officers and paramedics and firefighters, they come from all these other different source countries, it is going to put a downward pressure on the wages of our own people, because they will demand less. They don't need to pay for mortgage, they don't need to pay for the water bills, they don't need to pay for Wi-Fi. Everything is taken care of, and whatever they earn, the majority of it or most of it is sent back to their own country. So, but Singapore citizens, we cannot be like that, right? We have to take care of our own families. We have to make sure that the bills are paid. We have to make sure that we feed our children. We have to make sure that we go to work every day and we take the transport every day. So there is a lot of expenses for Singaporeans. I hope the recruitment of such officers from these different source countries does not put a downward pressure on the wages of Singapore citizens who are in such industries. And this is why for Red Dot United, we have consistently called for a citizens first hiring policy. We must make sure that our people are well taken care of. We have nothing against the foreigners who come here to work, and indeed it is human nature for us to go where we think the grass may be greener, for us to make sure that our family lives well. There's nothing wrong in that, but we can certainly fault our manpower and our immigration policies. And I think our ministers who are paid millions of dollars could think about how they can make lives better for our paramedics, our firefighters and our auxiliary police officers. Surely the jobs that they do is more important or perhaps equally important than the jobs of our million-dollar ministers. What do you think? I am Ravi Philemon, the Secretary General of Red Dot United. I would like to hear more from you. Thank you.